disembodied female voices from before were now replaced by voices of workmen in the next shaft adjacent. When the old generation is laid to rest and a number of people who are familiar with it go off their own way or follow, then the person that has that legacy has their own persona. He'd been sick all night, on the edge of death, or so it felt. The morning was a reprieve, not fully restored, but enough so that he could forget about the pain tonight, except of course for the ache in his head. It was a little more persistent. That took an extra hour or two laying in the chaise lounge. Half the year is gone already. Hard to believe. Already a couple days into July, and it seems like it was just yesterday. Time, the transition of day and night and seasons is speeding up. The elevator was empty, except for the smell of rose bestowed by some unknown entity. He looked down at the bottom of the elevator, exploring the warehouse of his mind, trying to take off the dust cloths of feelings that he'd not experienced for years. A feeling of timelessness, of eternity. I see the flaws in others, yet I don't notice the flaws in myself. How subjective. How do you get a balance between objective and subjective? Well, you find a mate and you balance off your best and worst characteristics. The doors opened at one point, yet there was no wood on the floor to get on. You rode it down to the ground floor and without hesitation walked out into the light of day. If one takes into account the pressure of one's emotions versus the restraint of one's intellect and looks at the outcome of their lives, I think it becomes pretty clear in terms of how functionally efficient they handle their existence. That's when I hear about women talking about their extremes and then talking about their equality, how foolishly they discount the fact that their emotions need to be tamed sometimes by marriage, as do the excesses of males. Perhaps for those older gals that have these issues, maybe if you had gotten married and had children, it would have all leveled out. The perfume of flowers.